So you've planned the special event, set the date, invited your family and friends, decided on the food, the weather forecast looks great, but now you're stuck wondering, how am I going to cook the pig? I've never done that before. Cooking a pig, pork shoulders, or Boston butt, no, it's not the actual butt, is not as hard as you think, and a great social event that everyone will remember for years to come. You just need the proper equipment, preparation, and time. Even if you've never cooked a pig or seen one being cooked, you will have mastered the basics by the end of this video. There are many ways that you can cook a pig, wood versus gas versus charcoal, and even the cooking style. Eastern BBQ, where you cook the entire pig served with a vinegar sauce, versus Western BBQ, where you cook shoulders served with a tomato-based sauce. But I don't have the time or energy to debate this one now. Let's begin. How to cook the pig. While there are many variations in cooking a pig, it basically comes down to this. Thoroughly season the meat side of the pig with kosher salt. Fire up the pig cooker to 250 degrees, place the pig on the grill skin side down and cook at 250 degrees for about 3 hours. Increase the heat to 275, cook for another approximately 5 hours until the internal temp reaches at least 190 degrees. Optional mop with a vinegar-based sauce after 6 hours. Enjoy. Of course, this is the simplified version, and there are several things you must take into account, but it still basically comes down to it. So let's get started. How much pork should I buy? A general rule of thumb I use is to take number of guests and times that by 1.15. So if you were feeding 75 people, you would need to order a dressed pig completely cleaned and head removed, that weighs about 85 pounds. 75 people x 1.15 equals 86.25 pounds pork. This should give you about 37 pounds of cooked pork, or roughly 8 ounces pork, ½ pound per person. Serving size, 8 ounces pork, person, number of guests. Pork to buy, LBS, dressed. 115 pounds, 75, 85 pounds, 50, 55 pounds, 25, 30 pounds, 10, 12 pounds. Of course, you need to take into account how many kids will be there, and the number of sides, dishes, and other food you will have. I would generally recommend that you have food left over instead of not having enough to feed your guests, and it freezes and reheats very well. Also, of note is the size of the pig. I do not recommend ordering a pig under 70 pounds or over 125 pounds. The smaller pigs, to me, are too lean, and pigs over 125 pounds start getting very tough and grainy, not to mention the difficulty of working with them. If you need less than a 70-pound pork, I would recommend switching to pork shoulders instead. The cooking process is the same as below, just not quite as long. If you need a pig over 125 pounds, consider getting a pig and a couple of shoulders. The ideal dressed pig weight for me is around 90 pounds. That all being said, if you have 5 people coming over and still want to cook a whole pig, go for it, ordering